Hey, what's up, everybody? Brittany and Craig here from Integrated Physical Therapy and IPTV. And today we're going to be talking about some of the main things that you should avoid if you're having symptoms of tennis elbow. So pain on the outside of that elbow can be your dominant hand, your non-dominant hand, and it can be totally unrelated to tennis. So if you have pain in the outside of the elbow and you're not a tennis player, don't totally rule it out.
Listen to what we got to say. Dr. Brittany's going to walk us through some preventative tips. Here we go.
So one of the things that you might notice is that your arm feels really achy and sore when you're doing things like carrying your groceries, or if you're working out at the gym and you're not doing anything specific to the elbow. And that's because of the grip. If you grip with a really strong hold when you're holding something heavy, or not even heavy, but sometimes just holding something light and over gripping, you're going to activate those wrist extensors, and that's going to cause some soreness and increase pain on that outside of the elbow.
So when you're looking at ways to avoid some of this stuff, think about your grip. Do we need to grip extraordinarily hard? If we do, well, maybe we need to do those activities only a couple times during the week and not every day during the week.
Yeah, and a modification when you're holding weights is, let's say you're holding a dumbbell and something that has support that you can rest your hand on. You can still do a bicep curl or something without gripping the weight really tightly, but more resting your hand on the weight like that. And then you don't have to work the grip, but you can still get the muscles going. And you're going to know how to modify because you're not going to feel that gripping pain when you go to do the activity. So try to lighten the grip or loosen up.
That's 100% correct. And if you are a tennis player, the size of your grip, the width of the grip makes a huge difference on how much movement you need to have in the gripping motion, right? So we do know that when we're playing tennis, the ball strikes the racket bends slightly and then comes back, and how tightly the strings are strung and how large the grip is also has a very important role in this lateral epicondylitis or tennis elbow. So ask your tennis coach what is the right string tension for you and grip size.
And I would say a third and most important thing is the way that you're sleeping. So if you're a side sleeper, then you tend to sleep in a really curled up position with your hand tucked in, your wrist really bent, and then your elbows curled in. And that's putting a lot of extra stress on the wrist and the wrist extensors. So sometimes if it's really bad and you're noticing that when you wake up in the morning, you're feeling very sore, then they have a wrist brace that can keep you in a neutral position. Yep. You can use an oven mitt. I've heard some people do that so that it's harder for you to bend your wrist, and it kind of just gives you some feedback in the middle of the night. Personally, I've never tried the oven mitt, but if you already have one before you go out and buy one, you could try that.
The brace that Brittany's talking about, it's a splint that just fits over the wrist, and it brings your wrist slightly into extension. And by bringing the wrist slightly up, it takes the tension off the muscles in here. Somewhat difficult to sleep with, but it is always recommended, oftentimes when it's an acute scenario. Another thing that you can try, lastly, is a tennis elbow brace or a wrap. And what it does is it creates a new insertion point for the tendon. That way, when you are using the arm, the tendon comes up to the wrap as opposed to its insertion point, and takes off some of the irritation and involvement that takes place there.
And caveat with that is that if you wear it really tight, sometimes you can compress on those nerves and have some sensation tingling down the arm. So if you're getting any of that, then you want to hold off on the brace, loosen up, and maybe try some kinesio tape instead.
And the other thing you can do, call us. Use us as a reference. Ask us some questions. We're here to help you. We are your education resource.
And we have some tennis elbow videos up on our IPTV website. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and drop a comment below.
Definitely do it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.